is delicious. Don Juan, the Texas treat. And you are listening to the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What is up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. And I forgot to play the music. Here we go. I'm your host, KC. Joining me is that guy, Tommy.
Yo.
And we got Big Mike.
What's up, guys? 2024. It's getting to the end of the year soon.
It's been a wild year. Yeah. So, yeah.
By the way, did you play that liner for a reason?
No, I just was kind of going through rotation.
The only reason I say, if you check out Countdown City Geeks social media,
yes,
Ted was at the Salvation Army bowling fundraiser event with celebrities last Monday. Not even this Monday. I think it was a Monday before.
I wanted to go to, but I couldn't.
And Don Juan was there, and Steady I think brought that up, and he did want to point out that was a while ago. He's a different man.
Yeah,
he's no longer delicious. He is the Megalodon.
I'm never doing that.
Yeah,
by the way, I'm never.
I just want to point that out.
I know, but well, first of all, I mean that's all well good for Don Juan to say, but you know where he hasn't said that again yet on the WrestleCast side of
WrestleCast
because you still suck, you jackass.
We're working on it. But yeah, that is an old interview, pre-COVID interview, by the way, that I did with Don Juan. Before he had returned to wrestling, it was, he was just ready to see what he'd been up to. It had been a while. He had taken a little break from wrestling. He looked good. And shortly after that, probably actually not too long after I did the interview with Massive, he was kind of teasing maybe he was coming back. That's when he put that first video of him being at the hybrid school. And lo and behold, there he was. So, pretty amazing.
Now he's a menace. Why did we let him back?
Because he's that much fun to watch. That's why. Don't lie. So, yeah.
Angel, James, Burnsy, what's up?
What's up?
I mean, he is fun to watch, but he's very much an irritant to all things that exist in the world, too. So.
Today, we're going to recap Victory Road, which took place in San Antonio. We'll recap Go RCW Go 2. And we are going to discuss the PWI 500, that magical list that everybody agrees is correct every year. Right, guys?
Absolutely. There's 100%. I can't think of a single year where there's even been one controversy about the PWI 500.
So if you're joining us live or otherwise, comment. Be prepared to comment. Like, really engage with us on this. If you don't have the list in front of you, Google it, look it up, see what you got. It's going to be a fun discussion here. The list has changed a bit, so we'll see what happens with it, and we'll share our opinions on it. I haven't looked too deep into it because I like to save it for when we actually pull it up here and just kind of talk about it. So, wrestling news, anything out there, guys? I don't know if there's anything major to discuss wrestling news wise. So,
I mean, there's a few things floating around. Apparently, WWE is back to trying to re-sign people way ahead of their contracts expiring. The word apparently Sheamus just re-signed recently, and they're trying to re-sign Nia. They're like three women that they're trying to just go ahead and get them an extension.
You know what I want to say is the reason for that, right?
What's that?
Is that Swerve got that gigantic contract extension, and everyone else is like, what about us? So,
hey, that's the beauty of having competition, right?
The funny thing with that is that people, like, there was some, I don't remember which exactly it was, but try to come out and be like, well, that was way above the WWE offer price, and this is really going to throw things off. And it's like, I'm sorry, are you upset that wrestlers are getting paid?
They are.
Put a big, I mean, what the heck was NWO doing in WCW for all those years? Going for the big paycheck and,
guaranteed contracts. It was a new thing then.
I feel like it's the worst part about it is that these fans, and I can't use air quotes hard enough in that, think that like somehow these bigger contracts is going to mean something bad, like, oh no, they're the wrestlers that we like to see are getting paid more. What's the argument here that we're going for exactly?
Again, let us not forget that WWE is making money hand over fist. Every show is now their highest grossing show because their ticket prices are out the wazoo, but people are paying for it, so can't blame them. The amount of advertisements they get on shows, from the weekly show to the pay-per-views. If I have to see Rey Mysterio wrestle in a match with a food mascot one more time, like, for crying out loud. But you know what? They're making tons of money, and people are going to spend the money. That they're not going to say no. So they have the money to pay these wrestlers.
Well, the Fed just cut interest rates, so we'll see if they're still highest grossing after that, right? So inflation's kind of under control, right?
Jason, Jason does have a few other things in the chat that are newsworthy.
First of all, controversy period. Yeah, exactly.
Never. Yeah. Not a single time.
So yes, I did see this.
I heard about that.
And I'm, to be honest, guys, I'm like, okay. Like the last time it came around, I was like, oh, it was okay. It was just like a random show they did, you know.
Wait a minute. I just thought of something.
What?
Was it too many shows? The very complaint everyone just made. Okay, sorry.
Well, here's the thing. Saturday night's main event is not like a weekly thing. They probably did like once a month, Mike, or something, or every other week or something.
But that's the different. You know, it comes from a time when specials. It was. I don't honestly know which one came first. So maybe this one, maybe Saturday night main event was first. But it was basically like Clash of the Champions. It was one of the few times outside of a pay-per-view that WWE had big matches on the card. There was no, wrestling challenge jobber matches.
But it was on network TV, though.
Right, it was network TV. It was access for everybody. Yeah. Now WWE's everywhere. Like, everyone has access to it in one way or another. Like, it's cool and it's a nostalgia thing, but is it just going to be like a smaller PLE? I mean,
I hope it's better than the last Saturday's main event, because I remember all the hype when that was coming back. They did it, and it just felt like, it wasn't a whole lot to it.
It was hype for one show.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh, the Saturday's main event is going to take place this week. Oh, who cares? Like, football's on. I want to watch
football. This is under the new regime, so there's potential for it to be better, but
just check the Notre Dame schedule. Whenever they don't have a home game, that's basically the chance that we're going to get to see Saturday's main event.
But but at least if they ever have a time of low ratings, that everyone won't say that CW is failing immediately. Unlike because you said the Notre Dame things, like unlike when AEW has a show during any kind of football game, suddenly the company's the worst. They're going to close next week because I've heard a lot about that lately.
Yeah, and there's a lot of aspects to this. So apparently AEW, the last I heard, closing in on potentially a $170 million over 4 years with a fifth-year option. But also the potential of non-exclusivity. That there may be a show thrown in there as well, or some stuff with Fox. Also, that deal does not apparently include the potential of having pay-per-views thrown on Max. So it's like that is just for TBS, TNT shows.
Yeah.
And there's a potential of other contracts and deals being made. So potentially
fingers crossed they're eventually on Max. That would just be awesome.
That would be
have it next to Real Time with Bill Maher and Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. That's what I want,
Oh, look at this. We got Pink in the chat.
The women's general manager of RCW.
Fun times.
The women's GM.
Yes.
We will be doing the RCW recap. That is down a little bit later in the show, so hopefully you can stay with us.
Yeah.
We had a very interesting conversation in Instagram comments earlier today.
Oh boy!
No, it was respectful. Right? Just talking about the women's title and the different things going on, but we'll get to that. Yeah. Hopefully, you can stick around.
Well, let's first talk a little bit. Then just jump into Victory Road. Then, Tommy, you got to see this.
Yeah.
Haven't gotten to watch it yet, and I'm not surprised with this. The comments I've heard, San Antonio brought it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh my God.
So. I had a friend in town from Eagle Pass. Was like, "Are you going?" I was like, "I can't. My daughter has a tournament the next day." Which I'm when I now. Good to see you, Pink. Nice. Yeah. which someone said good luck. How they do? My daughter's team got second, which is good. They got a tournament finalist ring, which is pretty nice. They actually played very, very well this past weekend. Something I was very proud of with all of them. Nice. Stressful as a head coach anyone can be, but it was a lot of fun. It was good to see them play well. Adi, for her part, had a couple of doubles. She struck out 8 girls in the circle. So she's just,
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see her pitching. So
yeah.
But yeah, Victory Road. I've seen the videos of all the camera phones out for Joe Hendry's entrance. I think that was probably the most hype, potentially that was hype thing. But
dude, that match ending for that was fantastic. I don't know if I can jump ahead because, dude, there were
watched it, so yeah. So
there are a few matches that stole the show, and of course it's TNA, so this isn't a surprise. It's hard to actually pick which one stole the show. But I will say one of the best moments that stole the night was Joe Hendry and Josh Alexander because, it was a referee bump. Joe Hendry actually had Alexander in the ankle lock, and he tapped, but the ref missed it. So when he let it go.
They won their first volleyball game tonight, by the way, Pink. Wow. I just want to throw that out there right now. So they played really good, and Adi's serves have gotten a lot better. She plays. We'll be sure to take a picture. I'll share it with you guys.
Well, that's when Pink goes. That's when Pink goes heel.
She's gonna show up with the mask on again.
She's not the GM of the volleyball league, right?
No, she's not. She's not.
Wait, who's that emerging from the locker room? Oh my God!
Why is Logan Pettis at this volleyball game? Get him out of here.
Pettis stops the referee.
No. All those people at the league will be like, "What is going on here?" Yeah.
Who are these people?
Would still be like the best volleyball game ever. But so Josh Alexander goes for a low blow, and it looks like he hurts his foot, and Joe Hendry pulls out a cup with his face on it. And then the referee recovers, he puts it back in the ankle lock, and Josh Alexander taps out. I was like, this moment will never be forgotten. And this is
nice.
He's already healed, but this is the beginning of Josh Alexander's villain arc. He's gonna go spill super villain now. It's all.
Well, he's already kind of.
Why is Logan Pettis in the chat?
Okay, when mine and Pink's daughters play each other in volleyball, I guess we're going to have all of RCW there, too, for this.
Oh, God.
Apparently so. Also, Angel, it sucks you couldn't keep those tickets, but, thanks for letting us know before the end of the show.
Yeah,
definitely, hopefully next time.
That. Much appreciated. Thank you for letting us give those away rather than you trying to scalp them on eBay. That makes
that volleyball game, and then the treats are going to show up. And don't forget, we the best.
Yeah.
Wait, you just said that you were never going to do this, but you did the best.
Yeah. So what?
I'm just okay.
I gotta ask about.
This is a million times stupider.
I gotta ask about Mike Bailey, Zachary Wentz, because I feel like that one would have been a shit.
Oh my God, bro!
Yeah.
I'm sure it did.
Yes.
The near falls in that. You could hear the 3 count like I'm saying like this far off the mat. Like you could hear the 3 count almost.
What's up, Sean?
What's up, Sean? Dude, that match was so good. It was so good, and I knew I picked Wentz to win. It was so good, I didn't give a damn that I was wrong because I was like, "Holy crap!" This is a pay-per-view on TNA Plus in San Antonio that wasn't even that expensive but holy crap, that match was so good. They need to be proud of themselves because they absolutely killed it in that match, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was.
There was no interference, right?
No, it was just 2 of them, and dude,
that's cool.
And dude, it didn't need it. It didn't need the interference. Those 2 guys went out there and freaking killed it.
Okay, we may need to speed through this TNA. Everyone's definitely in some RCW mood.
Okay, so I'll speed through real quick. Everything else was really good, but Nick Nemeth and Moose, dude, I saw some people give it not that high a rating, and I couldn't disagree more. For a TNA Plus event, like not one of their biggest shows ever. Those 2 wrestled like it was one of their biggest shows ever, and they absolutely killed it. Nick Nemeth is now only the 3rd guy to kick out of Moose's spear. And it kicked out of it twice.
Nice. So, amazing. Talk about putting somebody over, man.
Yeah, and John Layfield showed up. He took out the rest of the system, who did win the tag titles earlier in the night, defeating ABC. But overall,
We did have a few title changes. I want to point this out.
Oh, they had a lot, dude.
Which you don't see this a lot with TNA Plus events, but as Tommy mentioned, the System defeated ABC.
Yep.
Mike Bailey defeated Zachary Wentz.
Yep.
And Spitfire defeated, I've got to say this, Masha Slamovitz and Tasha Steeles, because
Alicia Edwards was actually legitimately not cleared to wrestle.
Yes, whether it's storyline or otherwise, but she's a concussion.
Yeah.
So Tasha Steeles took her place. So that might be a little bit of controversy there with that and everything, but basically we got.
Well, I think that did at the tapings.
Actually, no, they didn't because after the match, Steeles and Edwards turned on Masha and kicked her out of the system.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Because Tasha's in the system now.
I see.
So, but overall, dude, it was just watching it, and props to the San Antonio crowd, dude. They brought it. I can't see any reason they don't come back real time soon. First of all, the crowd, it was packed in there. There was barely. I think I saw maybe a couple empty seats, and those of them just might have been people who were just moving around. So, but it was a packed house. It was really good.
I definitely want to try and go. I'm pretty sure they'll come back, and from the pictures I've seen, from the people I've talked to. That is a great setup for wrestling, the way they have it set up for TNA.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I really would love to give it, hopefully, go next time they're in town.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry. I just adding to this play-by-play.
Yeah.
Jason is trying to give us the info on stuff from TNA, and the RCW GMs are kind of going back and forth.
Yeah,
with each other.
Want, I can give my rating real quick, and we can just go to RCW if you want.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, we all, Mike, Tommy, and I went 4-2 in our picks. Joaquin went 1-0 because he picked Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry won, of course. So yes, yeah.
So he technically says it.
Which, by the way, I found a TikTok of a guy doing the Spanish version of "I Believe in Joe Hendry," and
whoa!
Yes,
I shared that.
You shared that
in the chat.
It popped up my For You, and I sent it to Tina, and my son loved it. So yeah, that's why. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. My bad. Anyway, yeah, go ahead and give your rating, Tommy. And if you're watching, if you're here and you got either attend Victory Road, watch it on TNA Plus, feel free to share your ratings 0 to 5, 5 in WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to member. Tommy, go ahead.
4.5, man.
4.5.
It for again for a TNA Plus event, it had no right being that good. It did not. It was like, dude, you guys could have cheesed this one, and it still would have been decent. But it's actually what Dick Nemeth told me at the at Boomtown. He says every TNA pay-per-view or Plus event is a game of can you top this? Each wrestlers who go out there, they say, okay, do better than that, and that's what that night was. It legitimately that's how that night felt.
JC, why'd you give it that rating?
He said 4.5.
I saw 0 on the screen. Did you see
it didn't edit.
Oh, no, it's at 4.5 on my end.
Oh, that was weird. Okay, now it does.
All right, so here's the thing. When I just a little behind the scenes, when I edit it, maybe it takes a bit to update, but it's 4.5.
Okay, no, but Tommy saw it. That's weird. Okay,
yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Don Juan. No, he wasn't. Sorry, I just read the chat. Like, okay, let's talk about RCW.
You typed that wrong. J-Wave was robbed of his hair, literally by clippers.
So. I just want to shout out anyone that Gail Kim especially, because she has always talked about how great the San Antonio crowd is, and I'm pretty sure we brought it. I'm sure that she told people backstage, like, hey, you got to bring it for this crowd, and I'm sure they did, because all the reviews I've heard is that it's been such an amazing show. So please come back. It's been like how long?
I knew JC was going to get a Gail Kim reference in there.
How long has it been since lockdown was what, 2013? Like, was that really the last time?
I think it was. No,
it was 2013.
No, I know, but I think that may have been the last time.
It might have been the last time TNA was here. It was 11 years ago. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, it was 2013. Yeah, you're right.
Can you please bring us back more often? Exactly. So, all right. RCW, go RCW, go 2.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because apparently this chat is just buzzing,
yeah, it's blowing up. Let's get into it. Mike, Tommy, you guys were there. I was, it's been a rough football season for my Titans, but anyway. I'm a
Cowboys fan. How do you think I feel right now?
First of all, state the obvious. Why don't you, Jason? Of course, yeah.
So. No. You will be surprised of what happened.
You will stop right there, sir.
First of all, JC,
that man redeemed himself.
You can you know this. We have never said a bad thing about Vance Jackson. He has always been the best ref. I think we've said that. A lot of people say that. A lot of people saying that. Everyone's saying it. Really smart people say it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's okay. Well, I think I've got the whole card down here in the results.
I don't have the whole
I think
card.
I do. So
Okay.
if I miss something, let me know, guys. If I happen to miss a match, I don't think I
I
have
don't have time for this show.
You were. That's why I asked you after the show if you thought it started at 4:30.
Oh yeah. By the way, about that. Yeah, right there, Mike. That's right there.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. But it was a good joke. So.
It was a good. I didn't say it wasn't a funny joke. Just jokes right there too.
So Jesse Funaki was on a pre-show match against Hit from the Road School from Austin.
Yeah.
Jesse had a good showing, but Hit did beat him in the end.
Hit's a big boy.
Yeah, he is. So,
big boy.
And then, speaking of big boys, that went into K-Jax versus Anthony Andrews.
Yep.
What's his name? The Big Daddy Thoroughbred.
Whatever. I'm not saying it.
I don't know. Yes, Raider Jesse is a star. We agree. We have his first official interview.
Yes, we do.
After his first official match from NostalgiaCon with the hybrid show. So once he makes it big, we're definitely throwing back out there in a couple of years.
Once he makes it big.
Actually, all those interviews we've got, we've got the Maddie/Ren one that I think we've gone back and changed it. Like we're just throwing them all up there.
The fact that I don't share the pictures I have with Maddie more often is called self-restraint. But don't push me.
Sean,
I'll post every picture I have.
The only reason I'm okay with you saying this because I'm pretty sure Tommy yelled this out during the match.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, okay, right.
Prince
Thick Daddy Thoroughbred. You're right, Logan, you're right. Thick Daddy, not Big Daddy. My bad. So K-Jax and Thick Daddy had quite a battle of kaiju, if you will.
Yeah.
Beating the crap out of each other. K-Jax did come away with that win. I think he basically just cranked his neck until he had to either tap or pass out. Yeah. And then I don't remember the exact order after here, but I think the first match officially on the show was the Lumberjack match.
Yeah.
With Diego Rene, the international champion, versus Alex Arsenal.
He was robbed, Alex Arsenal. He was robbed.
Now, I know it's going to shock you, JC, but there were some good lumberjacks. There were some bad lumberjacks, and they started fighting. Outside at ringside. No surprise you.
This is why you do it with fans. It's so much more fun that way. But anyway, yeah.
However, there was a wild card that got thrown into this, and I don't know if we want to blame him necessarily, but it did affect things. Angel Camacho, the Puerto Rican juggernaut, the supposedly about 500 pounds, decided as everyone was brawling that he was going to get on the apron and splash the people on the ringside that were brawling. So he did, and he apparently hurt himself while he did this. So the ref went to go check on him, and then wouldn't you know it, your Texas Treats decide to get in the ring and attack Alex Arsenal, which helps Diego get the win.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy and Jason and a few other people couldn't understand why the ref spent so much time at ringside with a lumberjack that apparently hurt himself and not pay attention to the match. But yeah, so again, I know it's going to shock you, but the Texas Treats cheat and keep a title.
Okay, first of all, those spots where that happened, why can't the ref just look at that guy laying there and just be like, okay, if he dies, he dies. Like, seriously, worry about the people in the match where you have to count a pin. Why are you worried about a lumberjack? I'm just saying.
I agree.
See, God, come on. One of these days,
James, I'm going to say this nicely, but you're full of BS. 100%.
Yeah, well, James and Sean both are.
Hold on. How do we ban people from the chat? We got a few people to kick out of here.
Yeah. Oh, they're not sharing a porn site. They're good. So we're fine. What? We had some of those bots.
I know we have.
Okay.
But also,
I remember seeing
they're not sharing a porn site
yet. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Sorry. What were we even talking about?
Okay. So, yeah, Diego kept on to his belt. And then I don't remember if this is the right order, but pretty early in the show, was the women's tag team match. Callie and Ridley Thorne with Selena Hysteria in their corner versus Emmy, the Phoenix champion, and Key Vibes. Of course, she is not fond of me saying this, but RCW posts this when they post it. So it's RCW Women's Champion ? In parentheses. I would also like to point out that in the flyer or the graphic for the next show, Callie's holding her title.
Yeah.
As does Allie. Pink, I know how you feel about this, and I understand coming from your position as the RCW Women's GM.
Let's ask
but this
her.
is RCW doing it. I'm just saying.
She has the no question marks. Okay, we'll teach them some punctuation. But can you give us some insight? I mean, October 20th is the next show. We see both of them holding titles in the flyer. Is this an issue where they're going to be sharing the title, a la, who was it, Chyna and Jeff Jarrett?
I made this comment, Jason, just real quick before you get to that. Callie handed the belt to Celine for a minute while she was at ringside.
Yeah.
Looked pretty good on her shoulder, just throwing it out there.
I mean, yeah, what are we going here? Like, what's the title match? Can you tell us what's been booked? Do you know yet? You're the GM, you still making a decision? What's going on here? So
wait, what? I mean, I think that match happened.
Yeah.
We've seen that one before. Yeah. So
I know I've seen it.
I'm sure there's a little delay. We'll give her some time to hopefully type an answer. We'll see. So,
Jason, I like this.
I like it. Let's fantasy book this, everybody. Go for it.
You threatened me with a good time.
I know, Tommy, you say I always wind up making this reference or thought. How big does a ladder have to be to make sure they can both get to the title?
I mean, honestly, you could just put like the titles on a pole match. It wouldn't be kind of the same effect. They would still need the ladder anyway.
Right.
Okay. First of all, I don't see this happening anytime soon because there's just.
Oh, okay. See, but you weren't there, JC.
Yeah, I know.
But here's the thing.
Is this a multiverse thing where it's just very different? So.
Well, probably. Yeah. But
yeah.
Okay, so Callie and Ridley did win the tag match. I'm gonna say that there were some shenanigans that led to them securing the pin.
Okay.
But after the match, they were all celebrating, and they kind of like were doing like holding hands in a circle type thing, and then it looked like the Cholos were bringing Callie in for a hug, and she ducked it like it was a double clothesline, and then just kind of left with her belt.
Huh.
And the Cholas seemed a little upset about this. Also, if you follow all of their social medias, they were a little miffed about this. So I'm not saying there's tension in the Cholas, but the Cholas also got a separate entrance from Callie. Callie came out on her own.
I'm going to say there's tension because I don't like Callie. So
right, I get that.
Well, Pink, regarding the title situation, not yet. My decisions are overridden, so I have to consult with GM Pettis.
And then she also says,
I can say that since both were there, we will address it, of course. All right. Well, we got about a month till show date. I'm sure we'll get some announcements in the coming weeks. Brandon, Pink, if you guys ever want to make an appearance, maybe announce something here, you're more than welcome to.
And again, Pink, like I said in the comments earlier today, I 100% understand your disdain for Nastico.
Wait a minute! What did I do?
Whoa!
Wait a minute! What did I do?
I don't know, man. So
I was like, wait, hold on!
I'm sure you booed her once. That's probably.
Hold on, let me go.
Okay. Now, in my defense, I did boo her a lot, and I confess to this.
Okay, so then what's wrong about what she said?
Because I haven't done it in years.
She hasn't had a wrestling match in years. She's been at the show.
You see my point?
Pink, love it. I still have my shirt. So.
But, okay, I admit it was many, many times. I said that already. I said that. But I didn't. It's been a long time. I thought we were cool now.
She never forgets anything. Trust me. So I grew up with her. Wait, no,
Pink. You know why I booed you last year? You were part of Logan's whatever stable thing of
she was managing Overkill for a while.
You were part of the Legion of Super Evil. Of course, I was booing you then. What else did I have? That's I've never liked you.
And I assume this was announced also. RCW Honors second
October
annual will be on the
19th.
19th. Okay, the day before. Yeah. Nice. All right, on Saturday.
Oh, they're doing that again? I didn't know that.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
We'll see
and also, she said, I'm not retired yet.
Oh, cool.
I respect that.
Yeah, nice.
Well, is anybody ever really retired? There's always a chance. Right?
I mean, there's Terry Funk retired and there's Shawn Michaels retired. So it depends.
Jerry Lynn stayed retired.
Yeah. So, okay. Is that going to be at Wonderland again? Pink, do you know for sure?
No,
Did they say where it was? Rolling Oaks Mall. Sean just said it. Rolling Oaks.
Oh, damn.
Maybe a wrestling shop?
maybe.
That'd be cool.
I know they had announced it. I don't remember. He might be right though.
Well, it could be, or it could be Rolling Oaks. They do a lot of conventions too now.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, when we were there last weekend,
Yeah, they have
there was stuff going on.
Bernsey.
Bernsey, I will only accept this comment if you say War Games in the Regal voice.
Yeah.
Wow,
Jesus Christ,
Angel. You know,
Anyway.
Angel, I want to throw this out there. How can you be besties with Izzy and Callie? That seems odd. It's at Raul's. That's I think that is in.
Is it in Rolling Oaks?
No, isn't that at? Is it at Rolling Oaks? Oh yeah. It's on the other side of.
On the other side, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Man, it's like Rolling Oaks is turning into the sports and collectibles mall, basically. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so why? Okay, real quick, why is everyone wanting to throw me and apparently I'm assuming in a match with Pink into a either War Games or Blood and Guts match? Seriously, at what point have I said I want to fight Pink? I have said there are many wrestlers I've said I want to fight. She's never been one of them. And also, for the last time, I'm not that old.
I mean,
I'm 36.
Yeah.
Not
according to Callie, unfortunately, which I think is what.
Callie can't read, so I'm not listening to her.
Also, Raina, which year did JC do better in 5th grade? The first time or the second time?
You're funny.
Wow.
See, Tommy, I just figured I'm always picking on you. I'll pick on him.
Earlier than that, we're talking like basically kinder through second. And third, I think we went to school together. Yeah, so it's known each other for a long time. Yeah, so
y'all went to grade school for real.
Yeah, so
yes, I think we all agree with that statement 100%. Right? I think Tommy agrees 100% with that statement.
Okay, not only can I say Angel, damn. Anyway, not only have I said I don't want to fight, I've never said I can beat Pink in a fight. I've never said I can beat Pink in a fight. I've never said that. I've never said those words.
You know what?
Logan, what the hell?
This thing is just flying. I'm just gonna leave this here. Everybody can read the comments.
What did I do tonight? What did I do this evening?
Nuts.
I don't know what I did tonight.
Oh, nice. I'm glad we can do that.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up.
JC was a basketball and soccer dude. Yeah,
at the time. Yeah.
So, but because that's what they had at this grade school. They didn't have baseball.
I don't know what I did tonight that I'm getting all this heat. What did I do this evening? Like I don't know what I did. Why is Pink coming after me? What did I do?
I think it just comes naturally, like for you, Tommy.
But yeah, but as long as she's Angela Armstrong, who that this response would make sense. I don't know what I did to her tonight.
Maybe she feels like she missed out on a lot because y'all weren't.
Yeah.
Blood enemies for years.
Which, by the way, shout out Angela Armstrong, hit another year of sobriety. I'm very proud of her.
Yeah.
It's great to see. Yes. So
and won a title recently, so good for her.
Yes. Pretty awesome. So
it wasn't just me, and
and actually JC was more mafia than Tommy was.
What did I do?
I was an associate.
5150 Mafia.
And all those groups, and all those fan groups of RCW, I was an associate of all of them. I was never officially an agent.
Jason, he is definitely, same with me. I was like Bret Hart to the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
I was like just associated with him. I wasn't in there. And he's definitely not 79. I think he's like
You're an associate with every fan group except for TFY because those guys were
okay. Actually, Ted,
I was kind of friends with some of them too.
Can I? Yeah,
until they tried to jump a rail.
That was funny.
This sounds like an actually hilarious video.
I don't want to do that. Ted,
Tommy,
get out of the chat.
No fun.
It's got to be a burrito-sized tortilla, though. That'd be fun.
What the hell?
Well, just Cali, a regular tortilla would be. So.
Yeah.
I'm not 70 either, you bunch of jackasses.
Jimmy Hart coming.
Oh, that's right. He's at the wrestling shop.
Okay.
For a meet and greet.
Ray, I got money on Tommy. He can scream his voice. So yeah. So.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
So Angel's doubling down on this year 70.
Anyway,
I was born in 1980.
She's really going heel for
apparently.
What else went down at RCW?
I forgot we were talking about last.
Yeah, are we gonna get to the main event? Because
hold on, let's go through a few more.
Okay.
in a hell of a match, in a banger, whatever you want to call it. Casey Blackrose defeated Devin Carter for the Future Legends champion. And let me say, and apparently Jason was telling me that this is kind of similar to the way the match happened at Hybrid. They started off in fourth gear and then pushed it up.
Yeah.
Like they just started boom, 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 going into it right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it was a great match. Back and forth. Nothing but respect between the two, but, it was also a match for a title, so they brought it.
They started off at Super Saiyan and got all the way to 3 before.
Apparently, I don't even know the reference, but I believe you. So
I know you would know the. I knew you would know the reference. That's kind of why I said it anyway.
Right, but Casey and them had a great match. Also, the show Fly Def made their debut at RCW, which is awesome.
I love Fly Def.
Not so awesome that it was under Nastico.
I hate that part.
Right, we all do. And that was against Brandon Weiss and David Kidd. We may soon be getting Emo David or David Teenager because he did basically turn his back on Brandon Weiss. Weiss was getting beat up for a while.
Yeah.
David Kidd was upset about some things that Brandon had done during the match. So he did the thing where Brandon went for the tag and Kidd pulled his hand back. Dropped off the apron and just left.
Everyone who I thought would go evil in that match, David Kidd was the last on the list. I thought, wow.
Although there were signs.
You feel like David Kidd is getting pushed because this is kind of happening everywhere. He's just starting to get pushed around more and more. He's going to have an anger streak.
Yeah,
he's going to go from David Kidd to David Emo.
After the show, David Emo, David Teenagers definitely seems to be what's coming. After the show, while we were talking with people, we had to avoid him because he was walking around with chairs and guardrails, and I don't know. We were really afraid that he wasn't in the right state of mind, so we tried to greatly avoid him. And he was even like, "Get out of my way!" And we're like, "Whoa, David, angry man, maybe James." But yeah. So a few other matches. Angel Camacho did come back for his match against Chris Marvel, even though he had the apparent leg injury. Emmy tried to tell him.
Yeah, I was going to say, Emmy tried to talk him out.
Emmy tried to talk him out of it, but he wouldn't.
Of course.
And then I know this is going to shock some people, but Marvel offered. He said, "Hey, you know what? I want to fight you when you're 100%. I can't do this." And then when he was turned around, he hit him with J-Wave's crutch and attacked Angel. Repeatedly attacked his knee.
What? The Texas treats cheating. What?
I do have to say,
I don't believe it.
They almost pulled off a William Regal Big Show spot where Marvel hit him and then Angel fell on top of him and he had to kick out of that at the last second. I was kind of hoping that would have ended the match. That would have been great. But no. And so Marvel did pick up the win on him.
Josh Deeks.
Okay, these are going too much. Which one are you talking about?
David Hangry. When he said David was just wanting us.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
David Hangry would be a great name.
You powerbombed Angel Camacho back in 2002. Was that when he was born? Come on. Powerbombed Angel in 2002, James.
When you powerbomb him, does that mean you gave him a powerbomb drink? Is that what you mean? Because there's no way, I'm just
back in 2002, he was born.
I'm pretty sure he was already over 100 pounds when he was born. So come on. Yeah. I don't know. Last couple of matches, Epidemius Jr. Did defeat Don Juan because Don Juan apparently pissed off all the Lucha people, and J-Wave got his fro shaved.
By the way, J-Wave and fro should never have been in the same sentence in the first place.
No, but he was growing it out, so
that's why.
And now we've ended it. So now he's like us, or some of us.
Such a great way to kick off Hispanic Heritage
Don't worry,
Month,
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And then the main event, the TNA superstar that emerged, was in fact Moose.
How surprised was the crowd for this?
The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it.
Everyone went straight into the Moose chant.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were some people yelling Joe Hendry before the person came out.
I would say a lot of us were yelling Joe Hendry before. I think I was one of them. But when the Luchas cheated, no, they didn't. That's not how that works. And the shark thing was fantastic, by the way. Don Juan having to wear the shark outfit. Leave Jay. Wait, Jason, leave J-Wave alone.
Never. Let it never be said
that would be over.
I will never, Legion, never. This will never be over. It will never be over.
Hold on.
Well, did they announce that Moose was the challenge, or was it just a surprise until the
It was
event?
a surprise.
It was a surprise
okay.
right until like this
Hold on.
kick.
Do that again, Tommy.
Oh, it will never be over, Jason.
Get closer.
It'll never be over.
Good call.
But yes, as I said, let it never be said that Logan Pettis hasn't done good things. He forced Don Juan to put on a shark suit and made them play Baby Shark. Since he's the Megalodon. Meanwhile, they shaved J-Wave's head. As we said, the fro got to go, and it did. So, yes, Logan, that was your idea for Baby Shark. You have good ideas every now and then.
As the head coach of the Sharks, I approve. So,
But back to the main event. I feel like the crowd was like wanted Joe Hendry, but when Moose came out, no one was.
Oh, everyone was.
There was not a disappointed voice in that entire crowd. I was like, Moose.
I gotta say, props to RCW, props to Tina for making that work.
Yeah.
When they announced it, I was thinking, okay, maybe not somebody that was just in the main event. Who were they going to give to an indie show? And it was Moose. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
it's
amazing,
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, when you think about it, the guy main evented 2 shows in the same weekend.
Yeah.
And Mike can attest.
Technically, didn't take either belt though.
That's true.
No,
but at least he did win one of those matches.
Who knows
Right,
what else he had
did.
to tape on Saturday too for the Impact episodes as well.
That's true.
Jason, was Moose at the Saturday tapings? Let us know.
Yep. Nasico needs to keep his hands off the refs.
He needs to keep his hands off anything.
You know how we
then
can fix
handcuff
that?
him to a ring post.
You know what?
During
We
the
can
match.
fix that. We can chop Nastico's hands off. There we go. I just
Whoa.
solved the problem.
You say handcuff him to a ring post.
Yeah, that went drastic.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
No, not that
He
kind
needs
of
lots
country.
of hand sanitizer and probably gloves on both hands. But let's not get medieval here. That's a little extreme.
Why not? Medieval wasn't that bad. Okay.
Wow. But yeah, so it was a really good show. Like you said, the next one is October 20th, and that is at the Grand Event Center. They're back over there. In October.
We almost forgot to mention the greatest face turn of all time.
Oh, that's true. In that Epidemus Jr. versus Don Juan match, Vance turned face. So there was basically Don Juan attacked the first ref.
Mm-hmm.
Jason says sort of, so I'm assuming Moose at the paper, so he was sort of there. Okay.
Maybe he did an interview or came out for something. But yeah, so he was. They knocked out the first witch, which I think was Hildebrand or Babcock, or I forget what street name it was. It's one of those.
Hamilton Wolf.
Right. Man, actually, I think
it was Hamilton Wolf. Actually.
Maybe it was.
Okay.
I did miss a match, of course, Sean. I knew
I
missed
missed one. Oh my God!
one.
Yeah. How did we forget this one? That one
I don't know,
really
but
good.
anyways, Don Juan thought Vance would come out and help them some more, and Vance had enough, and he stopped them from cheating, and actually gave a stunner to Don Juan that led to Epidemus winning the match. But yeah, so I did forget the triple threat. Yeah, Rita, please don't tell them we forgot them.
North
I'm already afraid of those guys.
Will Kanye give him the first name? I'm just going to throw that out there.
But also, Pink, Jay Alexander has threatened to powerbomb all of us at once, and I totally believe he can do it.
Yeah, he can.
So please don't mention that we forgot that match.
See that man's muscles? He absolutely can power all of us at the same time.
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
But yeah, so on that one, it was a triple threat elimination, which you don't always get to see.
No.
So the River City Kingdom did go out first. Rod Love kind of made the mistake of, speaking of the person we were just talking about, kind of trash talking Jay Alexander and kind of making fun of him a bit, and then Jay Alexander wound up pump kicking his face off basically, and pinned him and kicked them out pretty early, and then the Pillars and Overkill went back and forth, but the Pillars took the win in the end, right?
Yeah, no. Pillars won in the end.
Yeah. Okay.
They
Who got eliminated first, did you say?
The River City Kingdom, Stash and Rob Love.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, so Yeah.
James, what? Jay Alexander is your cousin?
What? No way.
I don't believe you.
Probably like distant cousin or something. So
Well, I mean, is it primo in the sense that we're all like Mexican and everyone's our cousin, or
si, senor. Yeah. So, but
Well, I don't know why I'm laughing at. Black folks got the same thing.
if you didn't get
Animal way.
if you didn't get to attend this, maybe you want to check out if you're watching this. It is available on Title Match Network. You
Yeah.
always log in, subscribe, watch all the previous RCW shows that are on there too. Mission Pro, pretty much any independent promotion that's on Title Match, you can check it out there. So,
And technically, Pig, they're not animals; they're actually Vikings. So I'm just saying.
Oh.
you know, are they Vikings or cavemen? Because sometimes
Maybe the Vikings had cavemen. You don't know.
eh,
Viking cavemen.
Caveman was like
Primo,
long
like,
before the
Stash is
Viking
like-
era, but
okay.
yeah.
In all fairness, James, Stash is like everyone's deal, so I'm okay
Yeah,
with that.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think he's
Major
related
Steel
to my
vibes.
family at this point,
Yeah.
and I don't even know. Are they?
No, they're not. It's
I mean, one of them does like to stick his face in the pyro at the beginning of every when they come down. So
Yeah, I don't understand how he does that. Like that brings me pain. I'm not even over there. I do want to say though, it really like Moose was having a blast
oh yeah,
during the match, and he's one of the few people I've ever seen in all of wrestling manhandle Bo Amir.
yeah. I was gonna say that's
I've
probably
never
part of the
seen
reason he
anyone-
was.
I've never
having
seen
fun.
anyone just like kind of toss Bo Amir around like he was. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah,
funny how we're getting a little bit of that because we had Hammerstone handle Obafemi last week on NXT, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
throw him around and to see that Moose was handling Bo Amir like that. Hey,
when you have
You know.
those big presents, it's nice when you can find someone that can match them.
Yeah.
You know, even if they don't get the win, it's good to see
yeah.
that there are people that can do that.
Can we all
Can
agree
we-
the RCW tag team?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that was in
Not,
question.
not to mention, and I don't, again, I don't know where the future of this goes, considering one of them is now a singles champion.
Yeah.
But technically, the Flock and Brawlers beat the Pillars a couple shows ago, and I assumed was a number one contender match. But Casey got the singles as well, so I don't know where that is. But yeah, the tag team division, amazing. All the divisions are actually cooking right now.
So you're thinking Flocking Brawlers getting a title shot and then
Well, they
Yes,
should,
potentially.
but
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, one of them's a singles champ now, like we said. So
Okay.
For the record, just want to point this out that the GMs are fighting it out in our chat. This is getting weird.
yeah,
No, just let them have at it. It's
That's
it's
true.
a backsstage insight into their discussion on
the
how
best
they
part
make
was watching
decisions.
Asuka throw a fit after. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think he got hit too. So
Yeah, well, Natsuko did get hit because that made the night just almost perfect. Almost
Right.
perfect.
Yeah. So. All right. Well.
damn, James, you're related to every wrestler apparently.
Jesus Christ. As far as the ratings for RCW Go 2, Mike, we'll start with you. What's the rating you're giving for this event?
Well, Alejandro wasn't on the show, so it probably went down a few points. The rest of it was pretty good, though. So I'm going to go with 4.5.
All right. Tommy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same 4.5.
I want to see what comments that brought up. So
Yeah.
Okay, 4.5 out of 5 is whatever. If you're watching this live, feel free to put your rating in here, even if you're commenting afterward.
These comments are killing me right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Look.
there we go.
look, everyone uses question marks, and I'm the only one who gets yelled at for it. All right.
No. Everyone yells at a wrestling show, but I'm the only one who everyone wants to beat up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with question marks. That's just you. Everyone just wants to beat you up in.
Oh boy. How long before you are back in the ring?
Wait.
Pete?
Yeah, why do you think we forgot about you? I don't know if you're talking to us or them. We obviously haven't forgot.
I've never.
We
forgot.
were there for a lot of it. My question marks are legit. All right, fair.
Wow, that's a sentence.
Yeah.
My question marks are legit.
I just want to know. You brought this up. Like, if I forget my history in the ring, you brought up that you've never officially retired. When are you coming back and getting in the ring, Pink? I just got to ask that question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's worth asking at this point. So.
And who do you want to face first? Let it be nasty.
That is a question. Yeah.
Beat him up. Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Nice.
I love
Logan. Wow, Logan.
Angel, if you love question marks, tell Callie you feel that way. She loves question marks too.
And Logan's comment.
All I'm saying for now. Okay. Well, be safe when you go there, for sure.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right. Oh, jeez. This could go on and on. I swear we could just stream this discussion. We really could. It's amazing.
I feel like we should just keep
Logan,
going.
She was in one of the Rumbles, and she, if I remember correctly, gave treats to the Cholas and then basically eliminated herself. So
That's true.
Technically, no one eliminated her for what it's worth.
The Rumble Royale
She was eliminated. Right. And she does seem fond of the local wrestlers like Callie and the Cholas. I don't know if there's any bias there, but there does seem to be. Gave them earrings. Okay,
there we go.
It was hard for us to see in the crowd.
Was it the big hoop earrings? Because you can probably see those from space.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was the little Mexican candy, like peanut stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's the Cholas. It could have been. We know it wasn't bag of like hot Cheetos, but
she almost got Okay, Logan. Nearly everyone almost.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
there's like kids from the '80s who like are victim of that.
Yeah.
So like everyone at ringside.
All right. Oh Lord. All right.
Angel just wants to remind you, apparently.
Yes. All right, guys, let's move into our discussion of the PWI 500.
Does anyone care about that? I think
I don't know, but is it? I wouldn't mind seeing
let's
it.
Just bring it. Yeah, let's mention it though. What the hell?
Yeah, that was kind of the whole point of today's show.
We'll see how long. You know, but you just got to go with what happens.
Yeah.
And RCW and their fandom invaded our chat, and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope this is readable for everybody. But here we go. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. Swerve Strickland, number 2. Then Ospreay, Rollins, Naito, Damian Priest, MJF, John Moxley, Gunther, and Mystico round out the top 10. Just outside, we got Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Bryan Danielson, and the aforementioned Moose that we just saw in San Antonio twice this past weekend. So,
ironically, Nick Nemeth is 22.
Yeah, but I guess what the rating period is like, what, from June to July or July to June?
That's the thing we always wind up getting into is what was the actual period?
Yeah, and I think Nick didn't really do much until January at Wrestle Kingdom when he started.
Probably.
Yeah.
But one I'm very excited about was Alex Kane, who's from MLW at number 25. I don't know, you guys probably don't know who he is, but
I've heard the name.
He's a beast. Logan Paul, James, get out of our chat this very instant. Get out of our chat. You go sit in the corner and you think about what you did.
Where was Logan Paul, actually?
See, James, when you say things like that, it makes me understand that you don't know anything, and I'm okay with that now. So now that I know that, we can go forward.
You go sit in the corner because you know what you did. You go sit in the corner, young man, and you stay there so you think about what you've done.
Logan Paul actually was at 37.
That's too high.
Logan, speaking of the Logan in our chat, some people do fail forward. You are the GM now, so
yeah. Which, by the way, that's his debut position in the PWI 500 the very first time, and he shows up as 37. By the way, so yeah.
Trash.
So just stop there. Mm-hmm. Think about how Michael Oku, Adam Page, Josh Alexander. Let me just go down this list a little bit. Takahashi, Joe Hendry, Braun Baker, Obafemi.
Oh my God!
Just think about how all those people kind of feel.
God, this is going to be better next year.
Hendry Claudio, from 84 to
Randy
51.
Okay, look at 55 through 58. That is like an all-star, all-timer list. Randy Orton, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens.
Well, Orton was in his essence re-debuting. He had been injured. Styles moved to 56 from 99. Claudio fell from 12 to 57. And Kevin Owens
last year?
He was 12 last year, and then Kevin Owens dropped from 21
I'm
to
pretty
58.
I'm pretty sure that means on last year's show I made a case for him to be 1. But...
You did, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I think in the managers one, I don't know where that list. I think Prince Nana was number 1 though in the managers list, which is well deserved.
Christian Cage, want to shout out 29. Wasn't on the list last year, but his career has just like a whole resurgence this past year for sure.
I mean, this past year has had some hell of a matches and one of the best character period.
And Trick Williams and LA Knight jumping up very high. I'm so happy to see that. They deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some of the bigger jumps too. They each jumped over 100 positions for that. Let's see. Nick Nemeth, 393 all the way to 22. Amazing.
God, he wasn't doing anything at the end of that WWE run.
No, but that's just wait for the contract to expire, right? So,
Dirty
Dom. Okay, I gotta see. Where is?
Oh, James. By the way, this is the PWI top 500.
Nice.
Not the biggest douchebag list. Like just so we're clear.
Oh, that's what he's reading. Okay,
I assume.
Right.
Yeah.
With those two as your top 2, it can be nothing else.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio is at 69, just under Finn Balor, who's at 68. So,
I bet that pisses him off.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jack Perry 59. MJF at 7, just dropped 1 spot from 6. He's consistently in the top 10, which is what you expect. That's even with a bit of an injury situation he had to deal with himself too. So that's how big his character is. Moose again getting a bit resurgence, was 220 last year. Now he's 15.
And Dustin Rhodes is at like 393, which I beg, excuse your pardon.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still wrestling a pretty decent.
I know, and then that's what I think is like. I feel like he's been wrestling a lot within this time frame. I don't know why he's.
I love the fact that Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia are 86 and 87.
That's awesome.
We talked about last week a little bit with the Blackpool Combat Club story about how their careers were very similar and they were sort of parallel. One went to Blackpool Combat Club, one went to Jericho Appreciation Society. Daniel Garcia's breaking out now in this thing with MJF. Pretty sure Wheeler Yuta's about to have another breakout with the stuff. Real quick, very interesting on Dynamite. They did a little backstage promo where Claudio and Pac basically told him, "We're still the Trios champs. You better show up next week at Grand Slam to help us defend these titles because that's your job. Look in the mirror and be a man," or whatever. And they interviewed him. They caught up to Wheeler a little bit later. He was obviously disheveled, but he was like, "No, you're right. I'm going to be there. I'm going to defend him." So really interested to see next week what goes on with all of that.
Wow.
Let's see here. Tommy, Okada dropped to 21. He was 7 last year.
And the only reason I'm not mad is because I feel like he really is in that era of wrestlers who were like big in Japan, but then kind of came to the States and like not went easier, but then got the easier to make paycheck, if that makes any sense. And he's been more having fun than anything. Besides, his promos have been top notch. So I'm not mad. I'm cool.
Do you think though he could potentially be like working his way up to a main event spot within the next year? Like he's got a year under the AEW umbrella now. It's like, okay, let's try and get him into the
but because you know when he came in, I feel like he came in just to be that heel, kind of like what he was when he started with Chaos. When Chaos was still a bunch of bad guys, you know, he's just that heel jackass guy. Yeah. I think he'll have his superhero moment, and then he'll bounce back. Oh, I don't know if y'all noticed this. Mark Briscoe was 31.
Oh, nice.
He jumped up.
Well, he won the ROH title. He's
jumped up from 145. Yeah.
Wait, I'm sad that I have to ask this. Is he still currently the ROH champion?
Yeah, he is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Sean asked, "What about Moxley?" Moxley was 8, dropped from 3. Excuse me, dropped 5 spots from 3. Consistently up there. Gunther still in the top 10.
Moxley also had some time off over.
Started like around May, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing that even with all that time off, him and MJF, like they're still within the top 10 of it. A part of me wonders if Gunther should be higher. I mean, he
I
held
was
the
actually
IC
kind of
title.
think. I was
Okay.
actually kind of thinking that. I'm not gonna lie.
I know
was
he's
thinking
9,
that.
but he held the title for so long.
Yeah,
like,
I was
come
actually
on.
thinking that. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah.
So,
Okay, so I know we're going about all these other ones, but number one, obviously Cody Rhodes is the face of the WWE. His story was the biggest story of the year. Finisher story, all that.
right.
Best matches?
Who, Cody?
Yeah.
Not really.
Just for the overall being the face of the company.
Yeah, I think it's the moments that he was.
Casey, it's first of all the fact that you're not on this list right now.
It's actually
is a
kind of
travesty.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, you will be on this list one day. You will be in double digits one day.
Yep.
As we talked about earlier, if you just jumped in, we had nothing but great things to say about your match with Devin Carter. Everyone in the chat pretty much agreed that was at the show.
Sean, very interesting question here. Roman Reigns was not on this list, by the way.
He didn't wrestle enough.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why. So
he had 3 matches in the given year that this was taking place.
Yeah. So in essence, for the criteria, usually standard is at least 1 match a month for 7 months within the grading period, or consistently kind of thing. That's kind of their minimum standard on it. So he hasn't wrestled a whole lot. I mean, he was still defending the title, obviously, but
Quiet Storm was on the list. What the hell?
I mean, JC, that's what you're working for.
Yeah. Casey, I could definitely see you on here.
Yep.
And just work your way up, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. See what you did there, Sean. Yeah.
Yes, but James, he beat everyone over like 4 years.
Yeah.
And in the time period of this, for this, I think he literally did have like 3 matches.
He really did.
That didn't fit the criteria.
Oh, I did not know.
But also, let's be honest, the Bloodline beat everyone. There were very few matches after that first year that he won without help. So.
Yeah.
Darby
Allin's still in the top 100, but dropped to 97 from 49. Obviously, he was dealing with injuries and
he had that foot injury that prevented him from going to
climb Mount Everest. Yeah.
Which a lot of people think was a blessing in disguise. So.
It is a dangerous thing. Yeah. Laredo Kid, who you guys just interviewed.
Yeah, that's really cool.
29. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He's such a good dude, man. I'm really happy for his success, man.
Let's see what kind of brought through. Roosh at 160.
Billy Starks is on here. In RCW in ROH obviously sees she just lost it, but she was the women's what was their Intercontinental belt that they made that she won? TV champion?
TV championship. She
lost it just recently.
Yeah.
But I know on the indies she's pretty much always fighting dudes.
Yeah.
Which I think they talked about if the women are fighting enough men, they usually get on this list.
Yeah.
There's quite a few this year. If you go down it,
Lady Luck was even on here. She's
Jeff Cobb at 121, which is insulting.
Well, it's a big jump. He was at 311 last year, so
which was also insulting.
Yeah, I know. Masha Slamovich, by the way,
I think he's still the TV champion.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Might be.
Checking.
Interestingly enough, Masha Slamovich 118. She was 15 last year.
Wow. Jeff Cobb is still the NJPW World Television Champion. He still has that belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, still does.
Makes sense.
Just defended it recently, in fact.
Again, James related to everybody.
What the hell?
Would it are you like the are you like the bloodline? Is it just like your whole family in wrestling, or like blood brothers or whatever? Like
Pink just coming through with it. I'm like, no, he's not.
Nice.
I feel like we do ask this every year, so I figure I ask it. Who do you think could potentially make like the biggest jump into the top 10 within the next year of this list coming out?
I don't know if it'll be a big jump because he's already pretty high, but I think Jey Uso has a chance from 17 to get into the top 10.
I feel like Gunther could actually be number one if they start.
Honestly, I mean, you said it earlier, and I'm looking at the list, but again, I don't, obviously I don't see all the New Japan stuff, so my head automatically says he should be ahead of Naito.
Who?
I'll say this: he should be ahead of MJF.
Who? Which one, Zach?
Gunther.
No, Gunther.
Oh yeah. Gunther should be. I that's one thing. I honestly, I think this is one of the few times where I'm seeing a WWE wrestler on this list. I'm like, he should be higher.
Because even his loss, like his one loss at WrestleMania,
was fire though.
Was that? Yeah, it was a hell of a match.
I was. I don't remember that.
Was the
Pink Butt? She's talking to me.
That makes sense. He always supported Angel Blue. That's true.
You know what, JC? The more I think about it, I think I do remember you being extra harsh to her whenever she was wrestling Angel Blue.
I don't know. Maybe I drank a little bit. I'm not sure. So.
And Sean, Jimmy Uso probably, because I don't even know if he's on this list because he hasn't wrestled.
Is he on this list?
He might be on this list somewhere, but it's probably not.
Let's find out. Jimmy Uso. No, he's not.
Not.
Okay, so yeah, he didn't wrestle enough. So yeah, he'll probably make a big jump once he comes back.
It's because he didn't get to yeet.
Now, I'm just throwing this out there. If this whole storyline goes between Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio for a while, do you think Rhea Ripley makes this list next year?
Possibly, but
I want her to.
Dom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Also, Adam Page and Josh Alexander at 42 and 43.
Mm-hmm.
That seems high. They need to be. I mean, they need to be closer to. I think both of them can make big jumps to.
Yeah, me too. It depends to me. To me, it depends on what they do with Adam, because Adam Page was out a lot.
He was
right. after Swerve won the belt. I think that was on purpose.
Right.
So I feel like depending on what they do with the feud now, what they do with him now, he could jump up a lot. And Josh Alexander, I feel like this is gonna sound weird. He's taking like a gap year. He's like, okay, I was the best in the world for like a solid year or so.
Yeah.
It's y'all's turn to try to play around.
Also, 51 through 53, Hendry, Braun Breaker, Obafemi.
Hendry's gonna jump huge as long as he.
I see all those guys making a huge.
Oh, for sure,
a huge jump.
And by the way, that's Obafemi's debut on this list. By the way, 53. Yeah. So. Photo of him. Okay. In my defense, Pink, I hardly ever get to see that finisher live, so I was like, yeah,
I wonder if I have that picture because I think I did I take.
There's so many pictures of me at shows with signs and everything like that. So.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure we all went to Chacho's afterward though. So.
Let's not forget the type of signs JC used to bring to shows.
Oh, JC was the king of signs, man, back in the day, dude.
Those were fun. Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, we all went to Chacho's afterward. It was all fun. So yeah. So.
Also, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I think Wheeler Yuta and Daniel Garcia are going to make a big jump.
I think I like
sure.
Kyle Fletcher could make a big jump.
Kyle Fletcher should.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ricochet too, probably. Now that he's somewhere else.
Oh yeah, they set that up. He officially has the match with Ospreay not next week, but it's like the October 2nd show. It's like their 5th anniversary of Dynamite.
Yeah, I saw that.
So they set that match for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn, Pink.
That's usually where he went because that certain indie legend you're mentioning loved that place, and I could always talk baseball with him there. But he definitely loved the food at Chacho's. Yeah. So. Yeah.
By the way, the Chacho's off 90 finally let people inside.
Yes.
Not just the drive-thru.
A few months ago, they finally opened. It was pretty cool. So.
Well, it finally opened, but it was drive-through only for a while.
Yeah.
That's because the one on
Bandera?
No, not Bandera. The other one.
Callahan.
Yes.
Callahan.
That one's still drive-through only.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, there's only.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still won't open it up.
That's the one we used to always go to when it was indoors. So
yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, interesting to see how this list changes. But I mean, I think it's kind of cool to see a little bit of different names up at the top, especially Swerve getting up there. I'm glad they're acknowledging that. He's had quite the year. Ospreay get up there, and this is what thought I changed my TOs. This is what competition does. It really opens it up. It's not just one company represented at the top. It's multiple, and it's pretty cool to see. So, this is a great time to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah, 90 that Pink, that 90s one is busy, and where I work, where I teach, I can go back roads to military. So that's usually my Friday. I don't want to make anything. I'm gonna pick up food on the way home.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stay tuned. Within the next month, we'll get the PWI female 150. We'll get the tag team 50, I believe it is, and whatever list they publish out there. It's
Lots and Brawlers better be on there.
Yeah. Well, hey, we'll see. So, all right. With that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Mike, do you have something this week?
Yeah.
All right. Whenever you're ready, sir, go for it.
So I kind of mentioned this to Tommy, and so there was a post I put on Instagram, which had Callie, then it had Alejandra, and then it had a broken phone. Because if you don't know this or you didn't watch the show, after Callie won and she was leaving, the Chola's still in the ring. I did have a picture of a question mark on my phone. I thought it was a little funny joke between friends. She viciously grabbed my phone and smashed it on the floor. Threw it down. I had to go take it in. Lots of damage. Lots of stuff. So our friendship is kind of tenuous at times. And then when I put a picture on that post of like, why does my phone look like this? She was like, maybe you took a picture of yourself. And I was like, wow. I was like, okay, I guess we're not friends. Which she then said, no, you took a picture of Tommy. Actually, that's what, yes, you did bring him into that.
I wasn't even in that comment section.
Pink, you know how vicious she can be. All right, she's a Latina from San Antonio.
Thanks, Jason. Sorry,
so yeah, 100%. My phone did have to go through and get fixed. It was all kind of smashed up. She sounds like I can clearly see your influence on her.
But Mike, say it with
quite a few of those.
Mike, say it with me. Callie is evil. Mm-hmm. James, I'd rather not fight the devil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, our friendship is we're working on it. I'm not always a big fan of things she does, but I think maybe there's, and that's why the question marks, Angel, because RCW always puts RCW Women's Champion ? Again, not from Pink, from RCW in their post.
Yeah.
So still a work in progress.
Pink,
we'll see what happens. Wait.
All right. What?
Oh, okay. I thought what James had said is what Pink had said, and he put Callie is great, and I was like, did Tommy just say yes? The wrong person. Yeah. Okay.
I was talking about. I said Pink.
Huh.
So.
All right, Tommy, you got something this week?
Actually, I don't.
Would you like to respond to what Pink just said?
Yeah.
Does she mean I'm not paying attention? What?
So the thing is, even though you don't like her and she's evil, you're paying attention when she's out there.
Yes, it's a wrestling show. What the hell am I supposed to be doing at a wrestling show? It's paying attention.
Look, to be fair, she's one of those heels that you do want to pay attention to see what happens next. Like some other heels that have shown up where you just kind of want to ignore them.
Yes, I mean, to be fair, I've also watched the Joker movie. That doesn't mean he's a good guy. That's just mean I watched the movie.
Because he's evil.
Yeah.
Yes, that doesn't not negate the evilness.
No.
Yeah.
But you're paying attention. You spent time watching the movie that you could have done many other things doing. But you watched it.
If an asteroid is going to possibly hit Earth, I'm going to watch the news coverage to see if we destroy it. That does not mean I like the asteroid.
Callie's. I don't think she can be an asteroid. Maybe like
no, she's a rock that hits your windshield. But my point is,
yeah, we'd all be worried, Pink, if he didn't care, because he's been doing this for like almost 17 years or something.
If I suddenly stop caring about pro wrestling, I think everyone should really be concerned.
That would be your midlife crisis. I don't think it would be that bad for you. So
yeah, I gotta be honest, Pink. There may have been stuff that happened in the past. I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah,
At pretty much any show in a while. I mean, obviously some matches get different reactions than others, but
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should. JC doesn't come to as many shows, so he probably doesn't start them. So
The wrestling's a lot better now. There were some people, let's be honest. We were brutally honest. If like it was boring or a promo was lame, it just didn't make sense, or if it was a guy that's just a plain old asshole, we would do that. I mean, we've
those are several different things you said there.
We've been sitting down reading newspapers during matches before. I mean, come on. So
I mean, there was that one show where we had the picture Josh got of us clearly being bored.
Yeah.
Just Tommy talking about the game Astro.
That is such a random, obscure reference.
It's because we were talking about.
I know, but of all the asteroids you could talk about.
Yeah.
Anyway,
also, no, you definitely do not become an honors member by being born. You were never that.
Yeah, no.
All right. For my minute here, I'm just gonna say this. TNA, can you please not make us wait 11 fucking years before you come back again? Look, we've shown you time and time again, this is a wrestling town. And if you didn't catch that drift by the fact that you ran Victory Road and some TNA tapings here and saw how loud and crazy, because yes, while I wasn't there, I've seen videos, I've got friends that were there, that place gets loud. So, I'm asking for one thing only from you guys. Give us Bound for Glory. That is your biggest event of the year. I've wanted, and let's be honest with you, I've wanted WrestleMania in this town for so long, but we don't have the big stadium that WWE wants to go to. But what we do have is a bunch of crazy, raucous fans. You've run out of the Alamo Dome before. I'm not saying you got to use the whole thing, but I don't see any reason why you couldn't do Bound for Glory there or even at the Techport Arena.
Or the Freeman.
Yeah. Give us Bound for Glory. We'll show up. We'll go crazy. Yep. Run your biggest storylines. It's your biggest event of the year. We're here for it. We're ready for it.
Do you feel like this was their test run since they hadn't been back here in so long? They were like Victory Road was like saying, okay, let's see how the crowd does. And then they were like, they saw it. They were like, ooh, I think we got something here. Do you think that was kind of been the case?
It's possible. I think when they do a lot of these things, they are kind of test running it. Sean, to be fair, I live not too far from the venue, so I'm okay where it's at. But
Same here. So.
Yeah, so
they said they'd be back. Let's see. Okay, I mean, and I feel like a lot of places do that. I feel like a lot of the because you guys remember my campaign for Ring of Honor to come here, and then they came here once, and then made it like a yearly thing.
Yeah, so. And that sometimes that's all it is. If they see that the fans want to be here for it or are going to show up. I mean,
to be fair, when they were here, I spent so much money on merchandise. They're like saying we got to get that guy back because he apparently doesn't care about his paycheck and doesn't need to eat for the rest of the week. We'll take it.
You know what we have not talked about in a long time, Tommy?
What?
Your ROH DVDs.
Yeah.
We have talked about that.
Remember how much at the beginning of the podcast 6 years ago?
Yeah.
We used to mention that.
Yeah, well, because every time you guys said it's like, what if there's a match for that? I have that DVD.
Yeah.
And I think there was one time that y'all brought one up, and I specifically didn't say anything, and y'all could tell how quiet I was. Yeah. And I think Mike said it's like Tommy's got that on DVD, and I was like,
like before there was ROH Honor Club or whatever, there was Tommy's collection.
Yeah.
There was ROH Tommy Club.
Yeah. Deep down, they're just streaming Tommy's DVDs. That's all it is. So
pretty much.
So that's what that weird guy was doing at my parents' house. That makes sense.
That's why your data plan's blowing up. Thank you everybody for checking us out this week. Thank you for all the chit chat back and forth. This was a lot of fun today.
Yeah, this was
amazing
fun.
Chat. Oh my god.
Tickets for how much were tickets? So the general admission was the cheapest for $20, but the fee was another $10, so about $30 at the cheapest. Ringside was like what, $70, $80 or something like that.
Something like that.
I think it was the face value.
It wasn't insane. It was just a lot.
Yeah. So I mean, respectable when you compare it to some of the other big companies out there, but still, sure. I mean, it was a great showing for sure. Like, we show up and show out, bring it back.
Yeah.
Again, thank you though everybody for showing up. This is fun.
Also,
thank you so much,
Logan. If you're still in there, like you said, let Brandon know. Y'all want to announce anything? You're welcome to come on the show.
Feel free to come in. We'll bring you on live if you want to. Just rather than just type, you're welcome to come on here. Talk about what's coming up.
So you're welcome.
Yep. What's the next show? In Our House 2, is that the next show's being called?
Yep.
Right. So
In Your House 2. It's like the WWE one.
Yeah, but so.
In the middle of our street. Sorry.
I love how they're just having fun with the logos and everything like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't help it whenever I see anything with the phrase "our house" in it, like in the middle of our street, pops out of my mouth. So I'm sorry.
Next week, we're going to preview the United 210 and the Hybrid Experience shows that are happening on Friday and Saturday next week. United 210, as we know, is having that huge battle royal that they've been promoting, that they announced at the press conference. And it's pretty much going to have like just about every talent in the city of San Antonio there for that. So,
So Pink says, I'm assuming give her the date for the next show, which will be next Wednesday. But also, you don't need Logan. We're okay with that.
Jason, first of all, I thought you left. Secondly, what? No, I'm not getting rid of my mask. No.
And like we said earlier, yeah, Sean, the next event, October 20th, is back at the Grand Event Center.
Yep.
I've already got tickets for it.
Nice.
I'm waiting until I get paid to get mine.
That's fair.
All right. Once again, thank you, everybody. Always a good time.
This was fun as hell.
This was a blast.
We'll be talking again about those shows next week. The week after that is Bad Blood. Then we got Wrestle Dream, and it's just gearing up, man. It's gearing up, and so much fun. Yeah. So, and speaking of Bound for Glory, we're actually a little over a month away from that. So, Victory Road is pretty much the last stop on the road to Bound for Glory as far as events go. So,
yep.
Here and out, the TNA is gonna be huge. So,
is that the coronation of Joe Hendry?
Whew.
Well, if they say his name, he'll appear.
True.
God, I think it could be.
Feel like it might be leading towards that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see where they go on that road to it. If it is Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry, that's going to be a hell of a match for sure.
Oh yeah.
So,
sure.
Yep. Thank you again, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. That was so much fun, sir.
That was a blast. Over here, we got Tommy.
Thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. Be good to each other.
And I'm JC. As always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
For the sky.
Ooh. Adios, Gunther.